Alright, over here at Pure Watersports, gonna do a maneuverability test. I'm still at the docks, so I'm gonna try to do a 3-point turnabout. No, I'll try to do a U-turn. Alright, going in reverse. Let's see how maneuverable this is. So I'm gonna go forward, back. Yeah, I'll try to do a little an about face. So let's see how this works. Oh, I can tell right away. Turning radius is pretty wide. And go backwards. Forwards. Oh yeah, this turning radius is huge. Maybe a 12-point turnabout. I like the instant reverse though, it's making life easier. Okay, I can tell you right now, the turning radius on the Outback with the sailing rudder is way more responsive. But the instant reverse on this thing, I like for making these adjustments. Trying to go into, trying to face in an obstruction in these tight quarters inside of a slip. It's really nice to be able to go forwards and backwards instantly. However, the turns are not nearly as sharp as the Outback with the sailing rudder. That's for sure. Yeah, I can tell the difference. Here I'm right on top of the kelp beds at the beginning of the strand here in Dana Point. This morning the parking lot was just jam-packed full of kayak anglers launching out of Pure Watersports. But as you can see, it was a really nice day to be on the water. Very light wind, very little swells. We got out here in record time. But we're going to start fishing this area first and then head north towards Salt Creek. Alright, that's it. Lost way too many fish. No. Frustrating. GoPro, stop recording. So as you saw from that previous clip, these sheephead were just pecking the shrimp right off of my hook. Although I did manage to finally land this guy, most of them were able to steal my bait. Unfortunately, this one was just under 12 inches, so I ended up letting him go. But in preparation for today, what I did last night was I soaked the shrimp in sea salt. But it was a bit too late. It was around maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening, and it just wasn't enough time for the salt to do its thing. So the shrimp wasn't as tough as it should have been, and as a result, most of the fish, these guys, these California sheephead, were able to just steal my bait. Here I land my second California sheephead. There was about a 1-hour window when the fish were really biting. Although most of them were able to steal my bait, I did manage to land this guy. He's even shorter than the first one, so I ended up releasing him as well. But you can see in the background, we're right in front of the strand. We're still on top of the kelp. And although we were getting a lot of bites, after that hour, the bite just shut down. So we ended up moving further north to Salt Creek. Okay, dead ahead there is Salt Creek. So we're just about there, and we're already past high tide, so I'm seeing we're on top of a lot of kelp, but everything is submerged at this point because the water's too deep. The good thing is there are a lot of lobster pots that'll help us mark the spot. Usually these are good areas to fish. Unfortunately, because of the high tide, we're not going to be able to latch on to the kelp, and I didn't bring my anchor, so we'll be drifting a lot or pedaling a lot to stay in place. It takes a lot of work, so I'm hoping maybe I'll find a lengthier piece of kelp that I can clip onto, so we shall see. As I get closer to the shore, it gets shallower. Whoop, I just hit something. Look at that. Kelp. Look at that. That was in my prop. Yeah, it's really nice. No wind, no swells. And it's almost noon. We're doing pretty well so far. So that's all Salt Creek right there. I'm just going to try to find some kelp. As you can see here, we did locate the kelp, and the good news is some of the strands of kelp were coming right up on the surface, enabling us to clip onto it. The bad news is the fish still refused to bite, and after spending over an hour in the spot, we decided to move on. The bite just shut down. They were not feeding, so it was time to call it a day. As you can see, I'm trolling a rattle trap, and I'm averaging about 3.5 miles an hour at this point, just going at a steady pace. Really wasn't pushing myself because it's late in the day at this point, and I was starting to get tired, even though the wind wasn't really bad. My legs were starting to tire out of it because we'd gone well over 7 miles by now, and yeah, fatigue started to set in a little bit. But it was a good day to be out on the water. It's just the previous night there was a full moon, and they say that whenever that happens, the fish feed at night, resulting in a slower bite the following day. And at least that's what I want to tell myself. The fishing was really slow. I think I might have landed a bonito. Oh, mackerel. Oh no, it's a bass. Sand bass. Yozuri. Well, caught a sandy on this Yozuri. There's Glen up ahead as we make our way back to Pure Watersports. A lot of people out on the water today. But then again, the weather was great. Light winds, low swells. Conditions were ideal. This was the first time landing my yak on the docks of Pure Watersports, and it was surprisingly easy. The bow handles there gave me enough leverage to just yank this kayak up onto the dock. And there's a good shot of the Pro Angler next to the big water. They're both similar in weight. Hey, thanks again for watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and do me a favor, please give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again.